Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, here we are, over 1100 shows into the series, and today we have a What Map first. Yeah, every now and then we get something. Today it's just more by coincidence, but it had to happen one day, I guess, and today is the day. Today is also the day that we do...
It's my first map.
A first map review. Yeah, it's a well-named map. It certainly feels like the islands have been given the correct name, and it's a map which only has one problem with it. It can be summed up in one small word. But first of all, this. That's right, hitting that notification bell really does remind you that I am still going. Thank you very much for all of your ongoing support. Today's map is Isles of Serenity by Kuisatz Haderah. Now, I'm probably getting that very wrong, but I'm going to stick with it because it's the best I can come up with. We have a start square that looks like it's about 50% land and 50% water, which is pretty serene. I would say water is pretty serene. We've got 3 islands, all with a little bit of buildable space on it and a little bit of mountain on them. And then the resources are good and strong across the whole map in equal squiggles. If you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, you will not be going hungry tonight if you like anchovies. And then off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. We'll be using the Clara theme and the Clara LUT, which are linked into the description. We've got a few trees to subscribe to as well. It says here, welcome to my newest and only map. Well, my newest and only map makes me think that maybe we've seen them before. Maybe. Anyway, we're going to start over here at this bridge, not because it's a particularly interesting bridge, but this is where the map starts being good. And there are definitely some really very nice areas on the map, and I want to start off by showing the map at its best. And then we'll spot the problems, and there are problems. There are problems, and the problems can be summed up in one word, and that word is trees. And I think a few of you probably guessed that word in advance, but here we have no problems. You can see we've got a lovely tree-lined road in the way of the fields. The hedgerows are these pointy trees. I can't remember what they are, but they're the pointy trees, more for decorative use. But do you know what? I think on a Fantasy Star map that we have here, I think they work really well for field lining, or hedges, I guess. And then on the other side, we've got a serene forest working its way up into the mountains, and I feel that the entirety of the good bits of the map feels really, truly like it fits the name of the map. In fact, the Clara theme and LUT, although, as I've said it 1,000 times, only because my colour vision doesn't work too well with greens, I find the Clara LUT is a little bit too green for my receptors, but even I can appreciate that the Clara theme and LUT work really well together on maps that work for that theme and LUT, and this is one of those maps. Works really well for that combination. Yes, so we've got this highway. I'll talk about the highway in a little bit more detail after we reach the interesting point, which is coming up very shortly. You can probably see it. Not this little ridge between the. I can deal with that. That's not too bad at all. But this highway, you think it's going to take a little twist or a turn, but it doesn't. It just gets enveloped into the forest. And it becomes very difficult to follow in places. Here's not too bad, and it's not too far. And if you look, when we come through this, we're into a part of the road where it's been cleared. It's been deliberately cleared down here for the road to be placed. And then we get another bit with encroaching foliage. So for me, it's almost like the road was cleared in places, and maybe there was a little bit of after painting of the trees. I don't know. Big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. This bridge for me is a little bit higher than it really needs to be. There is no shipping running through here, so there isn't an excuse for that. And I think we could have been a little bit more creative with the bridge as well. But other than that, and the obvious, I'm not saying the word every time, and the obvious problem, I think it's a solid, strong bridge. Anyway, there is rail on today's map, and the rail is, if you think following the highways is going to be a little bit difficult from time to time, and there will be a time coming where you will just have no clue where the highway is. The rail will be just as difficult because obviously we are going to be completely enveloped in trees there as well, but it's smaller and narrower. But there are some areas like here, this feels really inviting. I really want to build here. Not least because I want to build somewhere close to everybody's favourite factory, just over there on the left hand side. We're not coming back to this direction because there are other things to look at. The factory doesn't really add too much. It doesn't really detract too much either, to be honest with you. It's just there, and if I didn't mention it, somebody would be very upset. Back into the forests, and here. Right, where did the road go? Where did the road go? Oh, it's over here. I found it again. And now, where's it? We lost it again. I just see a patch over this way. Yeah, it's quite dense at times. Same has been said about me, I'm sure. That's a no. Then the road and the rail, big old bridges again. The rail doesn't need to elevate to get over there, but it does, and it's going to go off and do its own thing off to the left, while the road goes into the forests again, and we can just about follow it again here, just about. And yes, I have spotted the other you-know-whats up to the next in you-know-what. We'll be checking that out in the second half of the show, so let's not jump ahead of ourselves, huh? So yes, that one word that is just going to kill the map, and it is, unfortunately, kills the map, is trees. We've just got too many, and that's from somebody who appreciates a map with a lot of trees. I mean, take last month's Map of the Month. Have you seen last month's Map of the Month show yet? Yeah. Anyway, we got an up and over with the rail there, which, we didn't need to, but let's just start square intersection, which is perfectly lovely. Anyway, this is now going to come around and meet up with the highway that comes in from the edge of the map. And we've done the full loop of the island. So yeah, what we have with the highway is a highway loop. It's a ring road that goes around the 3 islands. That's where we started over there with that bridge. And then if we take a left here, this is the one outside connection that goes down through some more forests. And now, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? It's over here. Oh, this is a little bit intense. A little bit intense. Yeah. But other than the obvious, the needing to clear a few trees from the roads, I quite like this. This map would actually, for me, and I'm gonna set it up. This map would shine if it wasn't for the trees. I'm not saying it to be a 5-star map, but it'd be a very solid 4-star map. Right, okay, let's take a quick intermission. We'll come back with the shipping after this.
Have you never quite worked out how to use Ploppable Rico? And what the heck is Ploppable Rico anyway? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Ploppable Rico by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to the shipping routes at Isles of Serenity by Kuisatz, Haderah. And we have a shipping route that loops around most of the island. It doesn't quite do a full loop, but it covers, I would say, pretty much most of the main areas. Could it have gone in between the islands just to give us a bit of easy access to harbours on the inside? I think it might have done, but I don't think it was absolutely essential that it did. So anyway, the shipping route, we do have the air route that crosses right across the outside. Across the middle, not the outside, the opposite of the outside. Water flow, this is the start square. You've got access to the shoreline. There's no water movement here, so if you are going to pump, then beware. Just be very wary indeed, because you might have some issues. Okay, I like the shape. I like the shapes of the islands. I like the way they're broken up. I like the balance of them as well. So credit there also. And well, yeah. Let's get these out of the way. You'll see these in several places forests under the water. Now, I know we have foliage under the water. I know there is foliage that grows under the sea, but on this occasion, yeah, it's not meant to be. Now, I do like the farms. I like the shapes of the farms, and I don't mind the fact that we're using these ornamental trees for hedgerows. A little bit of a fishing pier going on there. So, yeah, I think aesthetically the fields do add something to the map. There's credit to be given there. And then, ooh, it's a castle. Ooh, it's a castle. In fact, actually, I'd say this isn't a castle. I'd say this is more like a citadel. This is too big and a little bit too haphazard for me to be a castle. First of all, the entrance is very wide. Very, very wide. So it's not like a castle gate. It's more like a city entrance, really. Get a lot of traffic in and out of here whence it was originally built. And then you have all these castle units that have been plopped down almost haphazardly. I'm not seeing any particular conveyable shape going on here at all, really. And then we've got this little area over here. I'm not even sure what this area is meant to be, but that rock needed protecting, so we've got an extra layer of protection going on there. It's different, and I like the rock lined shoreline as well. I think it's different. I think it adds something a little bit different to the map. It doesn't really win me over, but it adds something. A lot of the trees along the shoreline there, and then what have we got over here? We've got, I'm just trying to see, what do we have we missed anything? I don't think we have. So we're going to have a look at the start square. Now, the start square, you're expecting me to say, and here's the asset of the day. Well, today's show is a little bit different from the normal. Why? Because the asset isn't in the start square for a very specific reason. And that reason being, when I scheduled this show, I picked the map and I picked the asset separately. I did not realise that the asset was actually used in the map. Now, this is very rare indeed, because normally the maps have been up for a little bit longer than the assets, at least a week, maybe a month, and therefore these assets normally have they just don't match. It's not the asset isn't available at the time the map was made. So anyway, tell you what the asset is. It's the Grass Rural Road by Ronick69. It's actually a single lane road, so this isn't one of those dirt tracks where you have two lanes and it looks like it's a single lane. No, this is a proper single lane dirt track. I really like it. And factoids, because factoids. During the reign of Elizabeth I, there was a tax put on men's beards. Not women's beards. Huh? You sexist woman. Elizabeth I, it was okay to have an old lady's beard. Oh well. Anyway, Grass Rural Road by Ronick69. Today's asset of the day. Very nice. And I think it'll be well over 1,000 episodes again until we get another asset that is in the same show as this is total coincidence. And I'm really glad it happened. Just something to talk about. Anyway, your chance to vote on today's map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a free Patreon account. Or a paid Patreon account. I'm happy for you to pay. Anyway, but it's not for free if you do that. I'll shut up. Today's map, what do I think of it? Aesthetically, I like the balance of it. I think it looks really quite nice. But the same thing that's going to affect the other two categories has to affect the aesthetics. There's just too many trees where there shouldn't be. And there's no way of really looking away from it. I think this would be a 4-star map, but I'm going to go for a middle 3. That's the best I can give it. Detailing, I think there's plenty enough interesting detailing areas that it might have been a high 3-star map at best. It can only be a high 2-star map, I'm afraid. Too much to fix. And fixing it is going to take away from the gameplay as well. I still think it's a playable map though. but it's really distracting. I'm going to go for a low 3. I think that's the best we can do with that one. Isles of Serenity by Kuisatz, Haderah. If we didn't have trees in the water, and if we didn't have trees on the roads and on the rail, that's a very solid 4-star map, and I would enjoy playing it. There we go. I think that's as credible as I can be with that one. And don't forget, it was a first map, so we're all allowed to improve as we go along. Anyway, if you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day, specially selected random word today, because I feel it should be quite easy to use given the situation. And we'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. And I think, yeah, end of the show.